Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Reptile Podcast. Another Thursday night, another banger of a show that we've got lined up for you guys tonight. We've got the guys of BPM Reptiles, as you can see. Well, there we go. If you can see behind me there, the team of Wally van der Walt and Rassie Erasmus. They need absolutely no introduction. They've been in the hobby for a long time. So yeah, we're really looking forward to having a chat with them, finding out how they got started, projects that they're busy working on, and then just maybe share some pairings, what they're doing, and hopefully they'll share some animals with us that maybe we haven't seen before. So we're really looking forward to that. We'll also have a Q&A at closer towards the end. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. We'll get onto them and read them out to the guys as the show goes on. Enjoy, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Gonna bring in our co-host, Mr. Gavin.
Yo. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone is well this evening. And hopefully we can have a good one tonight with some true legends of the industry.
Absolute legends.
In South Africa.
I mean, they've been, I think between the two of them, they're over 20 years in the industry. So
I think they've forgotten more about ball pythons than we'll ever learn.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of people that look up to them and that learned from them when they started out, So they've got a wealth of knowledge to share between the two of them. We hope to get some tips and tricks from them.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rassie has a way of whispering to the females that he only wants females this year.
Yes, I need to learn those whispers myself then, because we all know how it goes for me. So hopefully I can learn the chants.
Yeah.
Call it.
So thanks again for joining us, Gavin. Really looking forward to tonight's show. As I said in the intro, if you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat box over there. And we will we'll pop them up on the screen and then we'll try and answer them as quickly as what we can. If there's anybody that you guys would like to see on the show, in the chat box, leave us their details or just the name. We'll track them down and we'll see if we can get them on the show. I know you guys didn't come here to see our ugly faces. So without further ado, and these guys absolutely need no introduction, please welcome to the Reptile Podcast, Mr. Wally van der Walt and Rassie Erasmus.
Oh, there we go. Look at it. We actually got it to work.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Evening, guys.
Yo.
How is everybody doing this evening?
Not too bad. It's quite Victoria starting to warm up, so it's nice.
Okay. Well, that's great. And Rassie, your side, how are you doing, Rassie?
I'm doing fine, thanks. I've got my problems, but that's for other day.
Yeah, no one listens about our problems anyway. So.
So guys, first off, thank you very much for taking the time out to do this with us this evening. As I said in the introduction, you guys have been around for quite some time, and I'm pretty sure there's stuff that you've forgotten about ball pythons already that some people are only learning now. We hope that you guys can share some of your tips and your secrets with us tonight on what it takes to be successful in the ball python industry. Yeah, Rassie, we had a look through your Instagram and Wally's Instagram, and I need a lot more time to actually just sit and go through there and look at all the amazing animals that you guys have on there.
Some epic stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, gents.
So
awesome.
the partnership between Wally, yourself, and Rassie, just give us a quick background on how the two of you joined up to be BPM.
So, Rassie, you want to go? Shall I go?
You can go.
So basically, many moons ago, back in 2008, I started getting an interest into ball pythons, and then I started Googling. Google is your friend. Found two names, Con Prinsloo and Rassie Erasmus. Went and visited Rassie because it's close to my house. Then started getting a good relationship with Rassie as well. And Rassie actually turned into be a sort of mentor for me. He taught me all the ropes, showed me all the different morphs. Back then, I only used to have a normal. So he actually coached and trained me quite a bit. And then I went down to Cape Town. I had a partnership with David Justice for about 2 years. And then I got moved back to Pretoria, work related. And in 2012, when I was back, Rassie then said to me, so why don't we join in a partnership? So it's now been for over 10 years, still going strong. And I think we're probably the longest lasting partnership in South Africa, if I can put it that way, to my knowledge. It could be different. But in a nutshell, basically, Rassie is my mentor and he taught me. So that's how we started.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, from my side, I think we all learn every day. There's nothing that we all know. And we get surprises every day. But me and Wally became good friends. I saw the potential in his way he's doing his things. We discussed it, and I couldn't get a better guy to go into a partnership.
That's what
Lots of people don't understand our partnership, but it's for nobody to understand how it works. We know how it works, and
that's all. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. As long as it's working for you guys and if it works, it works.
Working perfectly. Look what we've achieved.
Exactly.
I think we both can be happy what we've achieved in the time.
No, for sure. So, I mean, I've met both of you. I think it was in 2018 at the Expo at Empress Palace. I came up from Cape Town side. Yeah, I came up from Cape Town. I think it was 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2018. And I mean, your guys' display there was on another level. I mean, there was a lot of ball pythons there and a lot of displays, but your guys' entire setup, I still think, was one of the best. Actually, probably the best one there. So that's very, very awesome to have in the quality displays. I mean, you can have the worst animals in the world, but if your display is nice, it kind of helps. And I'm not saying yours were some of the most amazing. There was something I saw there that I think I chatted with Wally about that I want to find out a little bit more about this evening, but we'll get there a little bit later.
Thank you.
I'm sure when you've got a partnership that runs this long, I've only been in partnership with Gavin for 3 episodes now, but I want to kill him already. So I don't know how you guys have managed to last this long, because me and Gavin can't agree on anything. He likes pieds, I don't like them. He likes hypo, I don't like it. So what is it for people watching and that might be thinking of going into a partnership with something? What are the kind of things that they have to keep in mind when considering a partnership?
A very good thing is not to like the same things always. To see different things in different animals. Wally have come by back to genes that he moved out at the stage. And then later we saw potential, but I worked it again. And then he worked with genes that I didn't think much of it at that stage. And he showed me what it can do. I think it's not that you must agree on anything. I think different perspectives at how you look at animals or what they can do, what they can bring to combinations, that helps at the end of the day.
No, for sure.
To create that
Definitely.
something special. Everybody work with me and Wally. He works on what he wants. I work on what I want, and then we combine that.
Yeah,
and that gives us quite the edge.
So, Rassie, you say that you work on your stuff, and Wally, you work on your stuff. Rassie, what is your preferred direction? Like, is it more pied or clown or desert ghost or?
Gavin, I don't really have a preferred direction. It's too difficult with ball pythons.
There's too many.
Let's take Justin as a good example. He does a lot of clown stuff, but he does a lot of pied stuff. He does a lot of lavender stuff. He does a lot of in South Africa, we're all much smaller breeders. We can't keep all the genes we would like, and that's why we have to be selective. And with me and Wally, it doesn't help we do the same. It doesn't help I get into clowns and he gets into clowns and we just do clowns. Where it's going to take us?
You limit yourself quite a bit.
Exactly.
I think the nice thing of the partnership, like you said, you can go two different directions and then at a later stage incorporate it back together. That's a lack of editing, I think.
Also, what we do quite well is we spend a lot of time on planning. So I would physically do the whole spreadsheet, share it with Rassie. Rassie will share his opinions, and then we would collab sort of in our planning, and then we make sure that we don't double do something. But I have to say, on my side, I'm very clown, Azantic, desert ghost focused. Rassie, obviously, he got a lot of clown stuff as well, but pie, candy, ultramel, those ones. I know you gentlemen love clown, so
clown's fantastic. It's the best.
But at the end of the day, we want to put all those genes into one snake.
Nah, for sure. I make those triple and quad and 5-6 recessives. That's the way, man. That's the way.
I mean, and it's great because, like you said, Wally, you working on an Azanthic and clown, for instance, and Rassie is working on ultramel and pied, and combining Azanthic and pied has always worked. So yeah, it really is, as Doug says here in the comments, and I'll just put it up quickly. That really is a good business strategy because it also stops you guys from overproducing on something. Like a couple of years back, I remember quite clearly when the leopard gene became a big thing in South Africa, and guys just absolutely murdered it within, I think, 2 seasons or one season. I can't remember. It was so long ago, and it was quite sad. And yeah, I guess it still happens, but with the partnership that you guys have, it doesn't happen.
Sorry, I said, and BPM was blamed for leopard overproduction in South Africa, and it wasn't us.
Sorry, that was a really bad example.
No.
It was just the first
I would
thing
like
that
to discuss a little bit. If there's imported 15 miles of a gene in 1 year into this country, it's going to be overproduced.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We were just we were just advertising ours and put what we bred out there. There was 10 times more produced that was sold in the background. You know, South Africa's got a very small market, and we must be very careful with overproducing certain genes. It's a fact. And we
No, no,
don't.
it's
We really try not to overproduce genes.
Look, I think there's room for everybody in this market.
Definitely.
Guys just need to be selective. You know, the one thing I always come back to is when you look at the guys over in the States and then in Europe, you have guys that specialize. If you look at guys like John Daig of JD Constriction, for the longest time he specialized and still does only in TSK Xanthic stuff.
Yeah.
So you kind of become like a go-to person. So if anybody needs that, you know, he's the type of guy to go to. And I kind of wish more people in South Africa would do that, is take one project or one gene, if I can say that, and just focus and work just on that one.
And do it well.
Yeah.
Now, I want to also another thing about your guys' partnership. Do you guys have a facility where you keep everything, or do you guys have two separate collections but kind of still one collection?
So it's split up in two. I've got 2 snake rooms. Rassie also has got 2, but 2 breeding facilities separate. But we know exactly what each other has and what we're working on. So it's very well planned.
And what we're gonna produce, and we've got like, if I produce anything that Wally needs, then it goes to Wally, and the same the other way around. We try to select that with what we produced, it goes where it's needed most.
Okay.
That's clever. It's a smart way to do it.
But Uncle Rassie, you produced something that I am desperately wanting. So I think I might have to when the stream is finished, I think I might have to leave you on, and me and you need to have a little bit of a conversation after this.
I know. I think I know what that is.
Wally, so where did your where did your passion for Xanthic start?
Oh, well, Xanthic was next to Xanthic and albino, they were the first recessives to enter the country. I think Hyper was also very close to that. And I once met Con, you know, he always meets people at McDonald's. So I met him at McDonald's, and I saw my first Xanthic and albino. They were just divine, and they really loved the dark stuff. So you'll see quite a bit of dark stuff coming out this season, very different as well. So yeah, I played with Xanthic quite a bit. Rassie also loved the Xanthic, but in all honesty, back then it was more sort of how to get your females up to size. And the Xanthic gene, for some reason, they always fed the best. So you would get your females up to size within 24 months, and the other ones would be 3 years. That's why we started working with the Xanthic. But it also adds quite a lot of depth and interesting sort of interactions with the combos and such. It's very unique. I mean, at all the expos where we are, 9 out of 10 people, they point at the Xanthic stuff because I love it. It's striking. It's a color difference for them, and it's very unique. So yes, Xanthic over the years has sort of lost its market value, but boy, does it come back, especially when you use it in the right combinations, especially Desert Ghost stuff. I know Mornay is doing great work with Desert Ghost, the Xanthic stuff. I mean, Justin is the market leader. Once he says this is gold, then everyone believes it's gold and they go for it. I mean, when he launched the Clown Desert Ghost, the Xanthic, beautiful snake, but now everyone is chasing that combo. Same with Pompeii, same with Batman. You can look at a lot of these combos. And at the end of the day, he's just recreating himself all over, but he's very intelligent and yeah, very good businessman. So
what line of Xanthic are you guys using?
only VPI.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still asking everyone, please show me what a trade difference is between MJ and VPI. A real trade. Please don't tell me they're lighter or they're darker, because when you hatch the Xanthics, you do get the lighter ones, you do get the dark ones. It's the variation more. But they're not compatible, as we all know. But there's no real trade difference. I mean, if you put them next to each other, the normal guy will say, well, it's a Xanthic. They won't know the difference. So if there was a trade difference, you would see it. That's my opinion.
Okay. What about black Xanthic, Wally?
Well, that's a very good question. I got murdered on some of the groups when I made my statement, but I still stay with my statement because I believe everyone has got their own opinions. Black Xanthic to me, they say it's darker, it holds its silver better. Once again, darker, silver better. But show me a real trade difference. Is a pattern different? Different eye marks? Different something? Because I can breed you a Xanthic VPI, dark one, put it next to a black Xanthic, mix them up, and you're not going to tell me which is which.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember when I just got into this, I bought my first Xanthic female from you, actually. I think it was a big female. I think she was about almost 4 kilograms. It was massive. And yeah, that was a VPI female. And
that is VPI Xanthics. They grow like anything and they get massive and they breed very well. It's one of genetic traits of VPI Xanthic, in my opinion.
So Xanthic sort of lost its market value when everyone says it browns out as adults. But in all honesty, most ball pipe, except now for your enhancing genes like Desert Ghost, etc., does brown out with age. They don't nearly look as good as babies. But what I've also found is if you do the proper gene stacking with the Xanthic, you tend to remove the darkening or browning out effect. Especially when me and Rassie started working it into Orange Dream, Fire, Yellow Belly, all those enhancing genes. They are beautiful as adults.
That's awesome. But I mean, I see what Ruan Khaled says here is that there's no difference between the Xanthics. Work with quality animals and you'll produce quality Xanthics. I mean, that's nail on the head right there.
Give that man a beer.
Quality in, quality out.
I'll have a beer on his behalf.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can. I've seen pictures. If I can use the pastel, for example, you get a clean pastel, and then you get what some people call a dirty pastel.
And I've got one of each. I think I've actually sent you photos of them.
Yeah,
completely different.
So it all comes down to you can buy the first thing that pops up on a WhatsApp group for 200-300 rand, or you can buy a quality animal that comes from a reputable breeder that there's lineage to the animal that you're buying. Yes, you're going to pay more, but you put the two side by side and you look at what they've produced. I mean, it kind of becomes a no-brainer as to why you must buy the one that's 1,000 rand, for instance.
Yeah.
Nothing can trump quality. What are we trying to create in ball pythons? The best looking, best color, best pattern. If you don't use the best, you can't produce it. Finish and play. It's quality in, quality out.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's been a very, very high on our list of selecting snakes. We rather skip a gene than buy not the best or exactly what we want. And we've done it a few times. We fall behind in some projects because of that. But with quality, we catch up and we surpass some again.
In the long run, it definitely pays
yes,
off.
Definitely.
And to highlight the comment that from Heidi, if someone is just buying as a pet, then sure, take whatever they feel is pretty. From a breeder, you need the best. And I think that pretty much explains exactly what we were just discussing now. There's so much out there you kind of spoiled for choice. So when you start looking something as simple as a clown, you can look at 20 different clown females, and the beauty of ball pythons is they all look different. But when
Exactly.
you're a breeder and you go and look for a clown, you know what to look for.
Yeah,
Do
you've
you
got
guys
specific
feel that
things
that's
that you need.
yeah?
Uh, well, I presume, like most, work on a breeding plan, a 3-year, 5-year breeding plan, and that's what we do. And you look for specific traits that you want to take into your project for further breeding. And if you take, for instance, a clown that's too reduced, but you want to put color and pattern in, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
No, that definitely makes sense. It's the best way to do it. Like you said just now, I mean, quality in, quality out. It's actually the only way to really go. If you want to do it seriously. I mean, if you just want to do it for the fun of it, whatever, buy the 2 cheapest snakes you can, breed them, cool. But if you want to do it like we all do, the best of the best, it's the only way.
Definitely.
But the guys are also not really doing research, like Rassie was saying now, if you look at a clown female that's got a reduced pattern, first thing that will come to my mind is blade could possibly be in there, which reduces it. Or it could just be that she looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
Or a reduced line. There is lines of clowns that are reduced.
I think a while back there was something called a genetic black back. I've seen it pop up quite often, and people were saying, "Oh no, don't worry, it's just blade, or it's just this." It's scary how people speculate over just having a quick look at something that could potentially just be a normal clown.
Yes, we've seen it. Wally can confirm it. We've breed with a very aberrant pattern clown, and some of the babies were reduced in some of the clutches for no reason. Not that we can pinpoint why, but for a project where you want to put in more pattern, more color, more color and pattern mostly. You can't use that very reduced animal because you're not going to get that color in there. Where are you going to put it? And that is the problem.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, looking at Wally, you mentioned obviously you are known for foremost. I would say definitely the Azanthic stuff. But you also said that you're working with clown, and then obviously now the desert ghost stuff. Where do you see those projects going? Are you working on combining all three of them into one at the end?
So I think the new sort of craze around the world is let's hit recessive. We're going to do double, triple recessive. It's the new sort of, I'll say, market trend, which everyone is going for. So I've seen it. Justin is actually the market leader. So he's doing a lot of double recessives, triple recessive. They are beautiful and very different, also very hard to produce. The market value, that because they are hard to produce, is higher. But for me, all in due time. I mean, you've still got so much, thousands of combos you can do with clown, desert ghost as a base, Azantic as a base. There's so much work that still needs to be done that you don't necessarily need to do a triple recessive to create something unique and pretty. If you get your gene stacks right and you do your research, you're going to create that wow and X factor snakes. And it doesn't need to be a triple recessive. It can be a desert ghost bomb shell, if you put it that way. also doesn't need to be 6, 7 genes. It can be 3 genes that work. So for me, I am going that way as well, but I'm taking my time because
you're enjoying the ride.
we still have so much nice clown stuff to make, which I'm gonna show. We will show off this season. Same with the Desert Ghost and a Xantec, and then in the background, we are making our double recessives, but with a difference. So the difference is everyone nowadays puts 2 recessive to each other, making those double recessive. And then all of them comes out either one codominant or dominant gene with the 2 recessive as heads. But we are taking the longer route. So we're putting all the codominant and dominant genes together before we actually make the double recessive. Because if you make the double recessive visual and you want to start adding to that, you're going to have to make a hell of a lot of other animals, and it's going to take you so much longer to do it. So I'd rather just take my 2-3 years longer, make the double head, and then take it from there. But I can guarantee you this year you're going to see very interesting double heads coming through. You will definitely see some double recessive, some visuals and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
There's a question that came through here from Jade McGrillen. Hope I'm pronouncing your surname right. How often do you just breed a few snakes to prove out certain genes or potential hidden traits?
Well, I'm going to let the master answer this one. Rassie, go for it.
It's not a question of just breeding a few snakes. To prove out a new gene and to get to its potential takes time, it takes space, and it takes a lot of patience. But I think 2-3 seasons with a few combos, we can see where the project is going, and then we make a decision on where we're going to take it.
And I think we touched on this quickly last night, where we were saying proving out a project, you're looking at 6 to 8 years. If you really serious about it and you really want to show the variety and what the new gene can do, so if there's anybody that is into proving out a gene, they must know that it's not one season and then it's over type of thing.
No, definitely not. 10 years.
So also, you pick up different traits from different morphs the more you study them. So obviously myself and Rassie has been studying it for over 15 years. So we would look at something, we would not just look and say it's different. We would actually see 4 or 5 different traits. Belly, pattern, eye stripes, everything. We look at the whole thing. And then if it's got at least 4 traits you can identify, then it becomes for us a dinker, not necessarily something that's different. We would refer to it for a dinker up until we've proven it genetic. So when we say genetic, does it look different if you breed it to a base? Now, this is where the people makes the mistake. If you go and you take your dinker and you put the most powerful 5 gene male you got on there, you lose it.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. Just breed it something simple like a pastel or Mojave. If it makes it different, then you're not there yet. It is different. That's the first step. Second step is first prove it genetic. The superform genetic. So is the superform wow? So we've seen a lot of mutations actually prove genetic, but the superform is not really that wow. Then when you try to breed more into it and the super, it doesn't make the wow factor snakes. But the moment you start breeding a super that's got like craziness to it, like the super pharaoh or the super striker and those things which we've bred, then you're onto something unique. And that's also what Justin does. If you got that uniqueness, then the next step he does is he throws it to clown. Like he always says, if it's insane in a clown, it's going to be an insane combo.
Now You touched on something that I wanted to ask you about, striker. Can you explain a little bit about that? I absolutely. That's the one I saw at your guys' stand. I think it was a striker yellow belly, if I remember correctly, or a striker fire. I can't remember now. And I was like, "Oh, that is good."
So before we go into that, I just want to say a few years ago, Rassie had a lot of nice normals, and out of those nice normals, he managed to prove striker, Faro, Kobe, Kalahari, Jester, and we can go on and on and on. Some of them are subtle genes, but some of them are really powerful. And the mighty Nyala, which everyone loves, my favorite, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those nice normals proved genetic, but it took very long, and we got it there. So when it comes to the striker mutation, it's one of those babies, nice normals we Rassie had in his shelf. We basically bred it to a few morphs, but the moment we bred it to a yellow belly, we saw a wow interaction.
Yeah.
Then I kept the male because I'm Rassie. He allows a lot of things for me, so I go there with my shopping bag. Just I want this, I want this, and then I go home. So I managed to hit the super a few years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and the super, like I said, turned out to be wow. The same with the super Pharaoh is just insane. So
Have you got the super striker on your Instagram or not?
yes,
I can't
there.
recall. Okay, I must have a look. 'Cause I can't recall seeing it, and I want to see that.
No, it's on
I didn't
there.
even know. I didn't know there was a super.
I'm gonna give
Definitely
you
have
the
a.
wrong indication. It looks like a zebra pattern.
Oh, I like that kind of patterning. Now, like I said, I saw that striker yellow belly, and I was like, oh man, I like that. That for me was probably the nicest animal that I saw at that expo was that snake. Very, very cool.
But Wally, you know how me and Gavin feel about the clown stuff. Now I can't talk about pieds because then he's going to be mad at me for 2 weeks. Do you see? So obviously the clown, like you said earlier, all ball pythons brown out as they age. So far with the xanthic, we found using enhancing genes, fire, phantom, yellow belly to a point now with orange dream, that it helps it keeps its color. Do you see us getting to a point where we can get something in the clown that will probably try and reduce the amount that it browns out as an adult? Do you see any genes working in there?
It's already.
You know, like Rassie said, it's already done. So the moment you cross the Xanthic with Desert Ghost, gold. Even to some extent, the True Ghost project as well, gold. So when you mix the IPO with the Xanthic, really works well. And then when you go the co-dominant route, your fire, yellow belly, all of those, if you stack them on top of each other, works very well. Just stay away from anything that sort of blows the color out.
Sorry, I think you missed Keith. Keith was referring to clown, not as antique.
Ah, okay, the two mixed together. Oh,
No, just the clown as a base. So with the xanthic, we found there's genes that can kind of help it keep its color as it goes to adult. Is there something that you think will happen with the clown stuff?
Yeah,
already.
Definitely there. You'll see this year everyone is probably shooting for double recessive desert ghost clown, making the hits. Some of the top readers like Deer and those guys are probably going for visuals as well. You'll see that it's a craze all over the world. They are really hitting the desert ghost desert ghost clown quite hard. You'll see Justin doing it, of course, and then a particular breeder, Sebastian, overseas. They are very, very focused on on the
Showcase serpents.
Showcase
Sebastian
serpents, yeah.
Yes, but there's codoms that does just as well on clown, and there's gonna be codom clown combos with the right gene stacking that's gonna compete with top stuff. There's already a few between me and Wally and our racks that are codom combination clowns that I can see they're on a kilo and a half, and those things are as clean as
That's awesome.
what you can get.
But in most of, if you get your gene stacking right, and you start hitting about 3 to 4 genes, if you don't have a gene in there that sort of blows it out, you're immediately going to start seeing this sort of fading of color, the browning effect starting to deteriorate to a sense
Pastel's the
that
best
you will
example
hardly
of
see
that.
it. Yeah, so if you think about where ball pythons is going, even in the clown project and all of that, it's about the correct gene stack. It's not about hitting 7 genes trying to make this powerful animal. It's about stacking correctly and then creating that sort of wow snake. And who's to say we can't, like Justin, also make these wow gene stacks, give it this flashy name, and yeah, that's sort of where ball pythons is going. In my opinion, the market is very much alive. It's just evolving to a sense. When I say evolving, you can't be breeding pastels and spiders anymore. You need to be very focused on your projects and work in specific directions. You can't do everything. We can't be like Justin, like Rassie said, you can't have thousands of snakes. Just can be maintained with our small market. So that being said, I see the future of ball pythons going to selective, correct gene stacks that makes the wow snakes. Also, like Heidi said earlier, at the expo, those wow snakes are the snakes that sell actually. So it's about doing your research, getting it right, getting your brand out there, getting your gene stacks right, and then, like we said earlier, quality in, quality out, and you'll make it work from there.
Yeah, no,
For
it's
sure.
very true what you said there, Wally. But with the gene stacking, you get guys that are going 4, 5, 6 genes. I look at some of the combos that people are producing from all over the world, and in their Instagram feed or whatever, in the comments they'll say that this is all the genetics that are involved, or this is what they think it is. And I look at this and I'm like, I just don't see it. And there's a lot of guys that post pictures and they're like, can somebody help? Help identify what this is. You think we're going to get to a point where guys are going to have to start selling animals as what they possibly think it is, and then in brackets put the other 5 or 6 genes that you can't really identify with
It's
all those
already
genes?
happening. It's
Yeah.
already happening because we can't. In some combinations, you think it's there, and sometimes we believe it's there, but there's no way of guaranteeing it's there. With all those genes stacked together, it just gets too difficult. And if you go in the years, it is common knowledge. I'll tell you this snake is this, and or what I think it is, but I can't guarantee every single of those genes. It's possible yellow belly or possible this, because in some combos, especially in some clown combos, it's very hard to recognize yellow belly in them.
Yellow belly is always the one.
No, but in certain clown combos it pops and it's easy to see, and then you get other clown combos where they're difficult to see. So that is going to happen. Definitely, it's already happening. We produce stuff that we're not always 100% sure if all the genes is there, but then like me and Wally, then we sell it at what we know is there.
Yeah, no, that's the only way. I see some Reptiles exotics asking, what are your guys' thoughts on genetic stripe?
Nice gene. There's still a lot to do with it. Like Wally said earlier, it's not something we work on because you can't work with everything.
Yeah.
I think there is a few guys in South Africa pushing genetic stripe at the moment, doing some nice stuff with it. There's a place for every gene in the industry.
No, for
It's
sure.
just with our small collections, we can't do everything.
I mean, I said, sorry, Wally, yeah, you were saying? Sorry.
I say it works actually very well. Once again, if you get the right gene stack correct.
Yeah.
No one wanted to start genetic stripe for a very long time. I know Doopy works very well with genetic stripe. He loves it. So
he does hyper. I think he's got hyper G stripes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he specialized
in that project.
favorite gene. But only when Justin came out, I'm not too sure if it was Justin that made the first, but he made it pop. He made the clown genetic stripes, and then he made more combos after that. I have to say, I would give my left thumb for one of those. They are gorgeous. But for me to start up that project now, just won't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I sent Keith something today, genetic stripe combo, which you would never have thought. It's all from Outback Reptiles in the States. It was the blackhead G stripes. And that was, I don't know if you saw that. Let's actually have a look at it. It's on their Facebook page. They posted it this morning. It is freaking awesome. And I think, like you say, put your gene stacks there, something like that with leopard in the G stripe. I mean, you've seen what the leopard and G stripe does. Those darker things like the blackhead, I mean, with the leopard in the G stripe is going to be amazing.
Yes, and I think if you then start combining it, like for instance with lavender, candy, those dark genes with the albino type of genes, now it's going to make beautiful animals. But like Wally said, maybe we'll get into one project later on. But at this stage, we've just got too much to work with. And we've got a lot of our own genes we're working with, and it takes a lot of space and a lot of time.
There's a question that came through from Conrad. I'm a bit concerned about the market in South Africa. Sales seem to be very bad the last few months. Do you guys have something positive to say about it? Hang in there, buddy. Just hang in there.
Yes. I think I've been in the industry for quite a while in South Africa, and I've seen the market going up and down, up and down. The only thing I can say is produce quality animals. If you've got quality animals, you won't mind keeping them in your rack a little bit longer. And quality animals value goes up, not down with age. I think there is a problem in overproducing the base caudal morphs in South Africa. We don't have the pet market for that. I think that's where our problem is.
I want to.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Sorry, I'm Rassie.
No, I say that's just my opinion. I don't know if everybody feels, but that's what I think. And a lot of guys, as soon as that baby's had 4 meals, they want it out. It must be sold tomorrow. It ate 4 times, it must go. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, I want to go back to something that Wally said earlier, about making the right stuff. And I remember, and I'll probably never forget this, when Justin released the spot nose clown. I think that pretty much shook the whole world. I know Ben Rennick did those way before Justin did, and I know I think he gave him thanks in one of the videos. And I think that's what makes Justin so successful is everybody is going left and he's deciding to go right, and he's making these, or he's trying these combos, and one of them works, and he's just going from there. And then when he shows everybody, they're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't think that spot nose would work, for instance. And you see that a lot happening in South Africa now. Guys are producing stuff and they see, oh, this actually works. And it's really good to see that guys aren't all just following, where everybody else is going.
Yeah.
My opinion is don't be a follower, be a leader. That's what's making Justin. We're using Justin's name so much tonight, but that's what's making him and a lot of the other top breeders, Aussie, all those guys now, makes them industry leaders because they produce new things. Aussie don't go and see, what Justin produced this beautiful snake. Now I must make the same thing. He does his own. Everybody do your own. Do your own homework. Do your own, and then you will be successful. I promise you.
So, I mentioned earlier, it took me about 6 months just to get all my pairings sort of sorted out, and I literally did it over 100 times. And the reason I did it so many times over and over and over because I did a lot of research to that, and the main thinking behind my research is find all little clues that will show you indications of something that can be superb. So you'll see with a lot of the BPM pairings this season, you're gonna basically, like Rassie said, what don't I think about that? We didn't go for. We could now make 10 gene animals. We didn't go for that. We went for simplicity and something that's different. So each and every clutch has got something we want, number one. So we don't just to produce to sell, we produce for our own. But also, it's got like a 3-year plan. I literally am already planned all the way to 2025. And it's all different combinations, things that it might work, it might not work. That's the nice thing about it.
But if it works,
yeah, it can completely blow up in our faces, but that's what makes it fun. But with all the research and knowledge we've gained over the years, we know that's going to blow up. Don't do it. So we pretty sure that it's going to be something unique and special at the end of the day, but still we can only hope. It can also look just completely normal.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I think like one of the guys said in the comments here is just keep pushing. Just keep doing what you're doing. You will get there. You will produce something that nobody has seen before. And like Wally said, now it might sometimes be something that you didn't expect, and you could create something that completely changes or revolutionizes the whole industry and sets everything alight again.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, my personal feeling or opinion is, if you've got a passion for it and you do it for the love of the animals and to create something special and do long-term planning and your heart is in it, you're going to make a success of it. If you're getting into it and thinking you're going to get rich quick, stay away. Don't get ball pythons because it's not going to work.
no, exactly.
I think I should have recorded what you said there now, and every podcast we do, we just play that at the beginning so that everybody realizes that this is not a get rich quick scheme.
No, definitely not.
Those days are long gone.
It's a very, very nice industry to be in. It's something you can really enjoy. It's very interesting. I love genetics. I've loved lucky packets since I was very small. Egg cutting, you can't get better lucky packets. Okay, you get big disappointments, but you got that with lucky packets as well. But yeah, that is to produce that unique animal. Now, that satisfaction. Now, it's actually worth more than the money that or the value of that animal.
Yeah. Now, just to change things slightly, I have one standard question I ask everyone: sunset or monsoon, or none?
Sunset. I like sunset. Then I can take a nice whiskey
Yes.
and sit back and relax. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Personally, I want to see a bit more of the two genes and what they accomplish with them. That's my personal feeling. I'm not just gonna jump onto a gene because it's a new gene in the market and the new hype and the new wow. Uh, we weren't the first guys in the country with clown.
Yeah.
I think we were quite behind getting into clown, and look what we've achieved with it.
You've done
But
it. You've done it properly.
when we got into it, we knew why we wanted it.
So for me, monsoon, nice gene.
Okay.
When you mix it with a codon, one codon, it works. Like your Mojave, monsoon, those things, they are nice. I've seen a pastave monsoon, that's also very nice. But once you start adding the layer after layer and you're getting to 4 or 5 genes, you're just not going to get a stack, in my opinion, that works.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, monsoon now is the hottest new craze because it's such a strong gene. But 7 years from now, it's gonna
Yeah, it's gonna.
market
It's,
value is gonna drop.
you think it's got a bit of a limitation in what you can do
Yeah,
with it.
because you can only do so much with it. You can lay 2 genes maximum after that. But once again, it's only my opinion. I've been proven wrong plenty of time. And then when it comes to sunset, I'm just gonna pick clown. Like no comment.
That's like the worst answer you could give. Sunset or monsoon. I'll take a clown.
Clown. I haven't really seen anything that works well with it. I just don't see what everyone else is seeing. But once again, that's only my palette.
Yeah.
Other people palettes are totally different. They love it. They craze it. It's just not something I'm really into.
Okay.
That's what I said to Gavin. The sunset for me, when it comes out of the egg and it's had a shed, that's the best it's ever going to look.
It's beautiful as a
So
base.
leave it alone. There's nothing you can add to it. I've seen pastel in it. I've seen a lot of genes in it. It just doesn't look any different. So yeah, I'm really not sold on it.
I still maintain that sunset lavender at 1,000 grams is going to be absolutely awesome. I reckon. Like for Brad Bower, I can't wait to see that thing being grown up.
I don't disagree. I think it's going to be beautiful. But what next?
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's a question that came in here from Quentin. What are the 5 genes that is a must-have in a collection to form those wow gene stacks? Sure.
Ooh, I know where
That's a good question.
I know where this is going.
I just want to jump on this. You must ask Quentin also if his handicap is improved because he's my golfing buddy. But yeah, great golfer, by the way. He plays well.
We'll check the comments.
So, in my opinion, the newest wow genes, which really works well, is your when it comes to your co-dominant or dominant. Let's put them in sort of the same bracket. You would go with your Cypress, Hurricane, Confusion, and Acid. To me, it's the same thing. Bongo. I love bongo. I wish I could bongo all my snakes, but that sounds totally weird. Anyway, bongo, it's a magic gene. Just stay away from pastel with it. It does completely change pastel, but after that you can't do anything with it anymore. But if you mix it with yellow belly, fire, all those things, even with blackhead, oh my word, it makes the most beautiful snakes. So yeah, those are the co-dominants I would go for. What's your pick, Rassie?
That's some of the new co-dominants, but to just put 5 out there is difficult. But there is some genes. I think never throw away the yellow belly. Don't throw away Audi. There's quite a few. Yeah, but the rest, Cypress is. I think it's a must. It's a
Cypress.
gene that came up, and I think there's still a lot to do with that gene. Really, every time I see a new Cypress Combro, I'm wow. And there's not a lot of new genes that's doing that for me. Hurricane, good quality Hurricanes. I think there's still a lot to do with them as well. Good pattern changer, adds color. Yes.
Yeah, we're also forgetting the Pharaoh, the Striker, Vignola boy. No. I actually watched your video previously, and I just want to mention one gene which I feel it's worth mentioning. The previous podcast, you guys said similar to Yellow Belly. I'm just gonna say Spark is, in my opinion, something very interesting. Shouldn't be overlooked.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
There's quite a
you
lot of
guys
guys
heard
working
it.
with
You guys heard it right there. Don't sleep on Spark.
There is quite a few guys working with it, and I have seen some interesting stuff coming out of it. So
The guys from Gecko Tales, they do quite a bit with Spark.
yeah, Arno and them are working. Yeah.
So he recently made a bongo Spark. I bought it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. He also made a blackhead Spark. I think he sold it to Jock. I nearly bought it, and I said, I need to cut down. It's just too many snakes. But yeah, it really enhances color quite significantly and really the pattern. So for me, it's definitely something that mustn't be overlooked. I think Delia also made a video about it.
And yeah, I think even in clown, I produced a Spark clown female. She's sitting just over a kilo, and she's as clean as anything. It's completely different to yellow belly clown. It's a clean, really, really clean snake. We'll see where we take it from there.
So Wally, here's a good question. I'm going to pose a question to both you and to Rassie. So if I walk into your snake room tomorrow and there's 5 genes that I must leave, what are the 5 that you want to, that you will work with? Can be codom, dom, recessive, but it can only be 5 of them.
All my new genes. Leave them for me.
Oh, that was easy, Rassie.
So for me, it's a tough one because I run such a lean breeding program that every snake I have in the room is special to some sense. I also have 1 or 2 pets which is going nowhere. But yeah, everyone like thinks, your BPM 500-600 snakes. Fall on your back if I tell you how much snakes I've got as my own breeding stock in the main breeding room. It's very few. So for me to pick only 5, hey, I'm gonna grab the clowns. I'm gonna grab the
5 clowns.
I'm gonna grab the antique and put it in my pocket. And yeah, and in all honesty, I might just hide the Ultramel somewhere. Yeah.
I think Ultramels is something that's up and coming now. There's a lot of stuff going on overseas. I'm seeing on Instagram and Facebook and that with the Ultra stuff, and I think it's gonna. We've got it around here, but I mean, it's not massive here from what I've seen. But I think in the next year or so, it's gonna skyrocket.
Definitely, Gavin, because what I've seen, the gene stacking, the correct gene stacking that's been done lately, is an eye opener. They're putting in so much more color into it, and it's not easy. It's much easier to put extra color into candy, in my opinion. But it's being done. It's being done every day now, and I see just fantastic stuff coming up lately on Ultramel.
You must check Chris Tower Reptiles. He's got some. I think it was Ultramol G stripes. I'm very keen to see what he's going to do with that because those things were mind blowing. So I'm very, very keen to see what happens with that.
Then we shouldn't throw away the local guys. If you ever have the opportunity to go and visit Deer, sure, what a facility. What a very sharp breeding oak or lighty, but yeah, very sharp. And yeah, the ultramel stuff he's been breeding the past season or two, very, very nice.
For our overseas people, Deer is DJ from Reptiles for Century, just by the way.
Correct. Sorry.
Wally, so for all your followers and everybody that watches you guys and things like that, what can people expect to come out of BPM's facilities this season? Can you give us a few spoilers on some stuff that you're really excited about for this breeding season?
So I'm going to tell you from my side what you can expect, but also Rassie must then share from his side. So it's two very different sort of takes on where we're going with it. So for me this year, I'm not doing a hell of a lot of clutches. I scaled down actually by half because I want to try and be more focused. So don't expect me to go like 50 clutches again. I'll probably do about 25 to 30. You're going to have an early season. I always have an early season for some reason. So everyone is still cycling males to females. I've stopped about 3 weeks ago. The majority of the females I've bred has already ovulated. I'm on clutch 3 pretty soon. In the next 4 weeks, I'm going to sit on close to 30 clutches, and then I'm done for the season. What can you expect? Totally different. Unique new genes, very gene packed. Nyala taking it to the next level. Last season was wow. This season is going to be better, believe me. Pharaoh also, we know now sort of what to do with it. So Pharaoh, very, very strong. You can definitely expect a very nice variety of hopefully super strikers coming. It's going to be very clown, desert ghost, Azantic focused, but all different, unique sort of gene stacks. If I could give you a hint, imagine how a Nyala Fire Bongo clown would look like. So
can't even imagine it.
That's sort of where we're going with each and every individual pairing. It can either work or it can't.
Like I said, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. So differentness from my side, not a lot of clutches, but very focused breeding.
And Rassie, from your side?
Also working some of the new gene clutches, trying some stuff out. I've still got a few projects that we haven't showed until stuff that's still hide away in some of the shelves. I've got the 3 genes that I'm working with, new projects that I'm very, very excited about. But we'll show and tell when the babies are there. And then I'm doing a few double recessive projects. Hopefully the odds will be on our side there. And yeah, that's mainly it. I've got a few things going, but yeah, it's not things that I want to talk about at this stage. Some of the background work.
Yeah.
Well, then we're definitely going to have you guys back at some point so that all the stuff that you're hiding would need to come out at some point.
No, it's going to come out. We're not hiding it. It's like Strike. It's like Farah. It's like Inyala. We worked years before we've put it out there to the public. And it's the same with the other genes that we're working with. So as soon as we make what we want to make, we'll put them out there. Definitely.
But if anything, it sounds like Wally is going to have a hard time IDing some of those things that he's busy putting there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's gonna happen, but luckily I've got Rassie to help me. But I just want to say on my side, this year I've been doing open tour facilities in the breeding rooms. So if anyone is keen to come visit me from Gauteng, Victoria, even you guys, or if you're here from Cape Town, give me a shout. We go through the collection. Normally takes about an hour and a half because I show you everything, tickle my mind, we'll discuss everything. I've literally had all the breeders in Gauteng this year, a lot of KZN, nice oaks coming through. So my facility is open for any tour. I'll show you even all my breeding pairs.
Oh, awesome.
Gavin, we need to make a plan, buddy.
I reckon so. Next SOS we go up to, we will definitely come and have a look. Take you up on that. We'll bring the beers. We'll supply the beers. You show us snakes. There we go.
Sounds like a plan.
No, definitely. That's also very nice, because guys can actually see what it entails to have one of these facilities, and all the work that goes into it. I think a lot of people underestimate. You got to clean especially if you're breeding rodents, you got to keep all that maintained. Snakes, you got to feed them. There was a question that came through here now from one of our followers. Wally, what is your secret to get your girls to go so early? Mine are super slow. Some advice.
So everyone asks me this question when we do the facility tour. My answer is always the same. So you've been learned that or taught through the years that when it's winter, drop your temperatures. So when I drive into our security complex, we've got a bunch of trees down the road that actually start losing their leaves. The moment I see their leaves start turning yellow, that's when I start cycling males with the females. That's normally around March. And now the trees are already starting to bloom and we're starting to see leaves and stuff. That's when I stop. I always just work on the simple. I completely work off of nature. So I literally follow the trees, daylight. That's the other thing. My breeding room has got quite a big window, so the snakes can see the night and day getting shorter. So that also activates them. And I do drop the temperatures, of course, but I do believe that the snakes actually pick up by nature when it's time to breed and to go. So I've for 4 years been doing that, and sort of the snakes gets used to that and they go. That's my trick. I use nature, use daylight, and I drop the temperature.
Okay.
So my advice would be phone Wally, ask what tree that is, and then go and plant one outside your complex so that you can keep track of it.
Yeah, just get a drone and fly it over. When you see the leaves are gone, start pairing, guys.
It works. If you guys actually, let's think about it. March, normally the last rains come, and that's when the oaks normally start cycling females. It does activate the cycling process for the snakes, but then your days are already a lot shorter. And everywhere where you'll drive, you'll see actually the trees start losing their leaves. And the moment you start seeing nature changing back and it's starting to get to summer, it's done.
Okay.
That's only my opinion. That works for me. Not necessarily going to work for everyone, but I'm a factory manager by trade. So everything works off of yields and efficiencies for me. I can tell you that the yield I get from the females last season, I got 8.3 eggs per clutch, and I managed to breed 93% of my females.
Sure.
So yeah, it
That's
works.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is, that's quite a good good strike rate. There's just another question here from Jade again. Any advice if your facility is completely insulated without any natural light?
Put it in a window.
It's the most obvious. Yeah.
So then you probably have to work off of temperature. Most people do that in the States, and they try to breed all year round. I can tell you over the years, a lot of people in South Africa try to breed all year round. And then what happens is they get a bloom season, and then 2 years, a very bad season. Then a bloom and a very bad season. And they say, yeah, but we do get clutches in the summer. It's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna get 10% of your females laying, not 90%, if you do that. So that's why I just it works. My own little formulation.
Rassie, so we have a lot of people that watch this, and there's a lot of new people entering the hobby and that. So for guys wanting to start on this and want to start building a collection, for guys that are just starting out now, what advice would you give them on what to buy and how to build their projects?
To be honest, it's not easy to tell somebody what to buy or where to start, because there's such a diversity. I think, firstly, everybody must go do their homework. A lot of the new guys want to be, maybe it doesn't sound nice, but to be spoon-fed. We've done our own homework. We've studied genes and that. I will help as far as possible, but I can't tell somebody what to start with. It must be something you like. It must be a gene that is the wow factor for you, and then work that gene. Believe in what you're doing and stick to it. That's my. It's not a short-term thing. If you get into the industry and you want to carry on, it's a long-term thing that you're getting in.
I think the main thing. Sorry, I think the main thing you said there is true. Is do something you like. Choose a gene you like. It doesn't have to be 100,000 rand gene. It can be it can be a pastel. If you like pastels, breed the best pastels. Because I look at it this way: like if you open your racks and you look at that snake, you're like, it's not. I don't really like it. You don't really put all your effort in. But if you open those racks and every single one of those 50 animals, 20 animals you have is what you like, you put more heart and soul into it.
Yes. If those animals that you've got, you can't wait to look at them again. Yeah. Tomorrow morning you want to look at them again. Tonight you want to look at them again because they're so beautiful to you and you like them that much. You're going to make a success. You're going to look well after them and you're going to breed them and you're going to breed them successfully. And you're going to do more homework around that gene and work out what works and where to go from there.
Do you guys do anything other than ball pythons? Or is it only ball pythons? Have you got some, I'm assuming some hognose maybe? Everyone does hognose up in Gauteng.
No, I've got a few Angolans.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's something that's close to my heart. The first ones that were hatched in captivity or bred in captivity, my dad did that in conjunction with Halfway House, Rod Patterson, late Rod Patterson from Halfway House. So yeah, it's one of the snakes that it's a unique snake. I love it. It fits in with the ball python. I've got a few. I just keep them as pets. It's not really a thing.
I've seen
also got a pet now.
What has Wally got as a pet? It's for fun.
Wally's probably got an alligator or something.
A corn snake. Just doesn't want anyone to know.
I can probably say, can I say it, Russ?
Yes, you can.
It's a hybrid.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, interesting.
And golden ball python hybrid or awesome.
Yes.
Please send me a picture of that.
I produced the clutch last year.
Oh, awesome.
Just for the fun of it. I wanted to do it for quite a while. I'm not going to do it again. I just wanted to see. They are angry balls. They're really angry balls.
I'd like to see that because I've been lucky enough and I've seen wild Angolan pythons up in Namibia. So they have a very special place in my heart. Also, I love them, absolutely love them.
But that Angolan ball must have a feeding response like there's no tomorrow.
It's different. So you want to treat it like you treat a ball python, but you can't really treat it that way. So it's a new frontier for me, something really new and interesting. So I just want to dabble a little bit into it. So I'm not going to make it like my market sort of thing that I want to go into. It's just something that I find interesting. I mean, that's actually how the hobby started for all of us that are keeping reptiles. So it's a new frontier, just something unique and interesting.
They're really cool animals, those.
There's a nice comment that came through from Collier. He said he spent a few hours with Wally and Rassie on 2 separate visits a few weeks ago, and learned more in those few hours than what he did in the last 18 months, which is
Thanks, Paul.
Really good.
It was a pleasure having you. Very nice, Ak.
Always. And the same as what Wally said. If the guys are in Pretoria, you're around, you want to come and visit, you're always welcome. We don't...
Awesome.
There's some racks I won't open, but the rest I'll show you.
There's anybody that wants to donate some plane tickets for Gavin and myself to come to Pretoria, our details will be in the description below.
The problem with Pretoria is that if you walk out there, you run into too many blue balls people, and you can't have that.
Yeah.
No, but this has been great, guys. Really. I mean, I remember when I started, you hear about guys like yourself and things like that, and a lot of people look up to you guys. And I know you guys have in your personal capacities, you guys have helped a lot of people in this hobby, and you still continue till this day to help a lot of people. So yeah, I think I speak on behalf of the reptile community when we say, thanks for everything that you guys have done for the reptile community.
Yeah.
Yes, Keith, my way of looking at it, my whole life doesn't, not only in ball pythons, I'm quite a big bird breeder as well, a parrot breeder. And the more successful your clients is, the more money they spend at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to try and block the guys that support you from breeding or to be jealous on their success is the biggest mistake you can have. Help them. If they can produce something better than you, why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. Their success bleeds over back to you. I mean, you supply them with quality stuff. They may make better genes or combos, but they always come back to you for that base stuff.
Because I'm going to produce something else they're going to need.
Exactly. It's customer service.
So help them to be successful as far as possible.
Never really thought of it like that.
Gone quiet now. What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I can't hear Keith.
No, sorry. I just had a little minor glitch. Sorry, guys. No, it just looked like I was frozen, and I thought, oh wait, a show wouldn't be complete unless there was technical difficulties. So that was the one. I'm glad it happened.
This is the first one where we actually started on time with no issues. We'll keep it going that way.
That's great improvement, guys. Great.
Thanks, man. But guys, just to kind of wrap it up. So for anybody that wants to get in touch with you guys, I have put all your details: Facebook, Instagram. If people want to follow you guys, and you guys are on Morph Market as well, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Well,
Okay, awesome. Obviously, you guys vend at the SOS Reptile Expo. So if anybody is looking for you, are you guys vending at the one in September?
So
No.
that's a quick one, guys. We only do one expo a year, and it's the May Expo, the true SOS Senior Expo. That's the only one we do. We don't do any of the others.
Okay.
Awesome. I think that's the one that we need to do the road trip for, Gavin.
I definitely want to come and do it again.
Yeah, I think people are sometimes under misconception of the amount of babies we produce in a year. We don't have enough for all the expos. We don't produce that many.
You don't want to just produce for the sake of producing. So I mean, if they don't sell at the expo, then you've got another 100 mouths to feed. So
exactly, and the top stuff sells before the expo.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff sells out of the egg if the eggs get cut. So we can do SOS. We've normally got enough for SOS, but like for the Spring Expo now, we're just going to stand around there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I can do because I love going to those events and I literally stand and I just talk to people the whole day. I'm probably crazy. I don't know.
No, it is, but it's I've got quite a lot of other things going, so you don't always have the time. And the same with Wally. He's quite busy, and he does everything himself by his animals. So we must use our time well. To go stand there with nothing, it's breeding. Yeah, it's pointless.
And that time you could have cleaned the rat room, or you could have done. There's always something to do in the snake room.
Yeah, no, it never stops.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was awesome.
Sorry, and there's a lot of other breeders that's attending the Spring Expo. I think there's more enough for everybody in any case.
Yeah.
It doesn't help we go to every expo and try and dominate. It doesn't work that way. Make some space for the other guys as well.
We'll throw in one last question here from Ruan. Do you guys think there is room for improvement in the hobby? If so, what will it be? Ooh. It's a
toughie.
That's a toughie, yeah, for sure.
That's a tough one, Mr. Collins. That's a tough one.
It's late at night. I mean, you can't expect somebody to answer that question this time of night.
See, Wally's in deep thought over there.
Yeah, no, this is
trying to work it out. I tell Ruan he must come and visit me when we can have an in-depth discussion regarding that.
I mean, I think from if I may, I think guys must just help each other more. Reach out if somebody asks you something. You see guys on groups asking all the time. I think if people just share the knowledge more and help one another, like you said earlier, Rassie, there's enough room in this hobby for everybody. More people are joining every year, so the hobby is definitely growing. So yeah, there's enough space for everybody. We don't need to be nasty or funny towards other people.
Very true.
No, definitely. Improvement, it's a difficult one. Really, I don't have an answer. for Ruan at this stage.
Well, Ruan will go visit you guys, and then you can have a little braai, and then you guys can discuss it. And when we have you back on the show, then you can give us our answer on that one.
No, I'm gonna sit tonight. I'm gonna sit tonight and find that super striker on your Instagram. I need to find that. I'm very, very curious about that now.
It's nice. I've seen it. Rassie, before we go, anything else from your side? Anything you would like to say to our viewers?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and everybody that joined in tonight. Thank you, guys. You're always welcome. If you've got questions, my number is available on our website everywhere. Wally's number. I think if you need help, we're always there. We will always try our best. We don't always have the answers, but we'll try and help as far as possible.
Sorry, I'm just having a private moment here. Whew, that is nice. Thanks, Wally. Yes. I'm about to have an incident. I'm about to have an incident here. And there's nothing else for that, just Super Striker.
So
Yellow belly.
Super Striker yellow belly. So this year we're adding black pastel to that. Enchi, fire, a few enhancing genes as well, trying to make it pop more. Hence the reason I said zebra looking, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I think I really like this a lot.
It works. We're just trying to make a bit more. But in all honesty, thank you guys. Really good improvement regarding the previous glitches, if I can put it that way. I mean, we really had one very nice open platform to discuss. I would actually encourage all the other breeders also to come and join you guys.
Yes, please, guys.
So, yeah, Ruan, here's one for you. How can we improve the ball python community? I would encourage more breeders to get onto podcasts like this, share the knowledge, be more open about what you're doing, try to grow the market that way by an open sort of book policy. So I hope that answers the question better.
I think that does, yeah. No, and like I said, also to the people watching, if there's anyone specifically you want to see from South Africa or even from the States, Europe, wherever, drop myself or Keith a WhatsApp or through the channel or whatever, and we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can get them on board and see how it goes.
Yeah, like Cole says there, Cole was our crash test dummy.
I thought he did really well.
That was a fun one. I enjoyed that one.
Cole, we are eternally grateful to you for putting you through hell. But yeah, we appreciate it, bud. But Wally, Rassie, thank you very much for joining us this evening, guys. Taking the time out.
My pleasure, and thank you for inviting us, and thank you for Wally for convincing me to join. I'm not.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome having both of you.
I'm not really one for these kind of things.
Now it's a new thing for you now. Now we'll find some more podcasts for you now.
All this electronic media, and I'm from still old school, you know.
Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Once again, our doors are open. Please contact us directly. If you want to come and pay us a visit, you're more than welcome. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. It was really fun. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll definitely be in touch with you guys soon. Good luck for the rest of the season. I really hope everything turns out the way that you planned and the way that you've been dreaming every night in bed, not dreaming about winning the lotto, but dreaming about hitting those long odds.
Some of those odds, I think some of those odds is just as difficult as hitting the lotto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that. But yeah, again, from the Reptile Podcast side, thank you very much. We really do appreciate the support, and for encouraging other breeders to join us. We're trying to grow the hobby one podcast at a time. So from our side, thank you very much, gents.
Yeah.
Have a great evening further.
Cheers, guys.
And thank you for you guys.
Keep well.
Cool. Cheers, Wally. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Well, there you go. Another one in the bag.
Yo, that was a fun one also. It was a really good one. Guys, like I said, check out the Instagram. I mean, Wally just sent me now some stuff on WhatsApp quickly, and it's, guys, have a look at the Instagram. Definitely have a look.
Oh yeah. No, look, they I think the end of this season, if you can take from what Wally was saying, they're really gonna have some amazing stuff at the end of the season. So, for anybody that does follow them, I'm sure there's gonna be some mind-blowing combos coming out of those two facilities.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But Gavin, for you as well, thanks a lot.
It's always a pleasure.
We appreciate it. And to everybody in the comments, thank you for all the messages and the support.
Are we going to say who we got on next week, or is that not 100% confirmed yet?
The last time we did it kind of didn't work out. So yes, next week.
Let's throw it out there.
Next week we have Gavin from Balls to You.
Okay.
So
awesome.
yeah, Gavin from Balls to You is up next week. He also needs absolutely no introduction. But yeah, we'll definitely be sharing the information next week. If anything changes, we'll let you guys know. But Gavin of Balls to You will be up with us next week.
Awesome.
Great stuff.
Cool, dude.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, thank you, Keith, and we'll chat again next week with everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, I'll say it again. Any questions, any people you would like to maybe see on, drop us a message, DM or whatever, let us know, and we'll see. We'll try our best, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, but have a good one.
Cool, dude.
Chat to you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. To everybody that has subscribed to the channel, thank you very, very much. We really do appreciate it. Please share with your friends. Like Gavin was saying again, if there's anybody that you would like to see on the channel, or any of you guys in the comments yourself, if you want to be part of the podcast, let us know. Drop me a comment in the box below, and I'll get in touch with you. Then we'll definitely make a plan to have you guys on. From my side, thank you very much, and good night.